The oral contraceptive pill. It's taken to prevent pregnancy. To understand how it does this, it's important to firstly find out how women become pregnant. Most girls will reach puberty between the ages of 11 and 14, and it's during puberty that they will have their first menstrual cycle, which has an important role in preparing the body for pregnancy. They will then continue to have many cycles until they reach menopause. The menstrual cycle is made up of 4 phases: menstruation, the follicular phase, ovulation, and the luteal phase, and it's normally 28 days in length. It involves the organs of the woman's reproductive system, which include the fallopian tubes, the ovaries, the uterus, and the cervix. The changes that occur during the menstrual cycle are controlled by hormones. But what are hormones? Well, hormones are chemical messengers that are produced by endocrine glands. We can think of the glands as a person with a mobile phone. The hormones are the text messages which travel through the blood. Then different organs in our body receive these messages, causing them to change their function or behaviour. The 2 endocrine glands that play an important role in regulating our menstrual cycle are the pituitary glands found in the brain and the ovaries found in the female reproductive system. Let's firstly take a closer look at the pituitary glands. These glands produce 2 important hormones: follicle-stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone. As the name suggests, follicle-stimulating hormone stimulates the development of follicles, which are found in the ovaries of a woman's reproductive system. Let's take a closer look at the ovaries. The ovaries produce 2 important hormones, progesterone and estrogen. Let's zoom in to take an even closer look. In the ovaries are fluid-filled follicles that contain an immature egg, and their development is controlled by follicle-stimulating hormone. Initially, a number of follicles are stimulated by FSH to develop. However, only one follicle will become dominant and continue to develop within the ovary. As the follicles develop within the ovary, they produce the hormone estrogen, which continues to rise until it reaches its peak level during ovulation. This surge of estrogen stimulates the hypothalamus in the brain to produce gonadotropin-releasing hormone, which then acts on the pituitary glands, stimulating them to produce luteinizing hormone, which then acts on the ovaries. And it is this surge of luteinizing hormone that causes a follicle to rupture and release a mature egg into the ovary in a process known as ovulation. The mature egg then travels from the ovary into the fallopian tube, where it can live for up to 24 hours. Sperm cells, however, can survive for up to several days within the uterus. So women are more likely to get pregnant around the time of ovulation if they have had unprotected sex. The ruptured follicle develops into a structure called a corpus luteum. The corpus luteum is responsible for the production of the hormone progesterone, and it also produces some estrogen. Progesterone and estrogen work together to thicken the lining of the uterus with blood and nutrients to prepare the body for a potential pregnancy. If a sperm cell has entered the vagina after sex, it can then travel through the cervix, up through the uterus, and fertilize a mature egg. Then the fertilized egg can implant itself into the thick wall of the uterus. This stimulates the production of a pregnancy hormone that keeps the corpus luteum active, so that progesterone and estrogen continue to be produced as the body prepares for pregnancy. If fertilization does not occur within the ovary, then the corpus luteum breaks down and the levels of estrogen and progesterone drop sharply. This is when menstruation occurs, as the thick lining of the uterus is no longer maintained, so it's removed from the body as blood. The oral contraceptive pill contains a combination of man-made hormones, progestin and estrogen. These hormones trick the body into thinking that it's pregnant, and as a result, 3 changes occur. Firstly, the pill stops ovulation, as it prevents a surge of estrogen from occurring. Without this surge of estrogen, the follicle does not rupture, so an egg is not released into the ovary. Secondly, the pill causes the cervix to produce a lot of mucus. This blocks the sperm's entry into the uterus, so it can no longer fertilize an egg. And thirdly, the pill makes the lining of the uterus very thin, so it can no longer support a fertilized egg. All 3 of these changes work together to prevent pregnancy.